A trip to the dentist. Not my idea of fun. Well, maybe you'd be able to spend less time here if you used one of these conscientiously. Well, electric toothbrushes are of course nothing new, but at the top end of the market they have upped their game. This may look like it's just a toothbrush sat in a glass, but actually, thanks to conduction technology, that's its charging unit. And if you want to charge it on the go, well, you just put it inside its travel case, and this connects by a USB lead to your computer. Its vibrating mechanism helps it mix saliva with toothpaste to a consistency that should get between the teeth to provide a better clean. Whilst it may have timed clean, whitening, polishing, gum care and sensitive modes, when testing the device I simply wanted it to clean my teeth to the best of its ability. As with any brush with a timer, it did encourage me to keep going for the full dentist recommended 2 minutes. But at 250 quid, you really are paying for a sleek design and choice of modes, which to me felt a bit novelty. If you're a sucker for a bit of monitoring, then this brush comes with a smart monitor to make sure you're cleaning each section of your mouth for long enough, plus a pressure sensor to check if you're brushing too hard. And if you're always in trouble with the hygienist for not flossing enough, well, even flossing's gone fancy. This air floss device sends short, sharp bursts of water or mouthwash in between each tooth. Or you could choose a flosser that may not be compact, but provides a more steady flow of water, although until you've had a bit of practice, they can be rather messy. But can this sort of tech actually improve our dental health? Well, there's one way of finding out.
Lara? Hello, Lara.
Well, there are plenty of gadgets here that we can use at home, but how much difference can they really make to our dental hygiene?
The main thing here is the technique we use, how long you brush for, and making sure you clean every tooth in your mouth. A lot of people are in and out in 30 seconds with a toothbrush, and that's really not sufficient clean. So what we like about the electrics, and why often we recommend them, is because they often time you for 2 minutes to make sure you get the most thorough clean. The most important area to clean is where the gum meets the tooth. That's where we get the most build-up of plaque. So if you're using an electric, aim it into the gums and almost just hold the electric brush there. You don't need to do this kind of scrubbing because the brush will allow the right amount of force onto the tooth.
And when it comes to the dreaded flossing, how does an electric flosser compare to good old-fashioned flossing?
I'd probably give it about a 5 or 6 out of 10 if 10 is what you can do with floss.
So why would anyone bother using an electric one?
Because the brush is not going to get in between the teeth and you need something to clean in between the teeth. Flossing is a little bit technique sensitive, so you need to get good at it. That's obviously what we want to aim to be using, but if you're not going to use floss, better to use an electric flosser.
And dental tech may be taking a whole new leap into the future. A prototype sensor's been developed that could monitor our dental hygiene and even report back on us to our dentist. Researchers at the National Taiwan University created this tiny sensor that can be embedded in an artificial tooth, or the user could have a smart tooth that can collect and monitor all oral activity, such as talking, chewing, drinking, or coughing. An accelerometer and Bluetooth transmitter allow that information to be sent to a smartphone. Its findings were 93.8% accurate, but you would need to be willing to have this piece of kit in your mouth, although a final version would be wireless. And just this week, a 3D printed toothbrush was announced. Looking more like a mouthguard, it would need to be custom made for each user. It may not look that inviting, but it does claim to reduce effective teeth cleaning time to just 6 seconds. By simply biting together and moving your teeth, it should do all the work that brushing and flossing would usually do, although not something I've personally had the chance to chew over yet. And there are plenty of apps helping us look after our dental health, some focused on diagnosis and advice, and others like Brush DJ, aiming to motivate better brushing. Using a chosen tune from your playlist, it takes you through your cleaning routine, encouraging you to brush to the beat, if you like that sort of thing. But ultimately, the technology is only as good as the technique we use. But if we do it right, a trip to the dentist could be seen in a whole new light.